right to be slow.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
we have
Weird, but
done
okay. Okay.
amazingly well. Okay, we have done amazingly well.
We're
Absolutely.
live.
Okay, we are live on YouTube. Yes, we are. Let me come back over and give it back to Marti. Where am I? Why do I always lose my there we go. Okay. Okay, I gotta come to here. And where do I find you? Why can't I find you? Where are you? Oh, joined. I gotta come down to joined, I guess. There we go. It's so weird the way that this some of this stuff shows up now on Zoom. It's like it's hiding.
Mhm.
And there we go. All right, now we can let them in. Let's do it. Let's go. I should probably put some lipstick on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome, welcome,
Hello.
welcome, everyone.
Oh
Come on
my
into
gosh.
the room. You
I
guys
didn't know what I was
excited?
doing.
It's all good, Miss Carol. Welcome on into the room, each and every one of you. Dr. Cheryl will be right back before you to give you all this amazing, awesome, and empowering, of course, masterclass on tonight. We are getting started here. As she says, I think you guys of GSU gives them about 3 minutes. Is that right? To get on into the room before she gets started.
Yes, ma'am.
That is so awesome. Welcome back, everybody.
I think I'm supposed to be backstage and I didn't figure out how to do that.
It's okay, Miss Carol. You are good to go. We are in meeting format. So instead of doing the backstage, we have been
Oh,
rocking and rolling right now in this format for the entire conference. You are in the
okay,
room.
great. Fantastic. Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah, this is the home stretch. And thank God my voice lasted for 4 days. Hey. And I'll get a little rest tonight. The team and I will be able to sleep in a little bit later tomorrow. I'm so excited. I don't know what to do with myself. So I want to first start off as we go into this final segment and this final session, just first of all, thanking everybody who's on the support team. Martina for being our team lead as it relates to everything behind the scenes. Erica, our sales team lead, and every person. And I hate calling out names because I always be scared I'm gonna forget somebody, which I know I will, but I'm gonna call who I see here. Angela and Stacy and Dr. Eric and Dr. Crystal Vernay and Grace and Lucille and Tanya. That's who's here now. We had a bigger team, but some of them are now traveling back home because they came up last night for the Evening of Impact. Did y'all see the photos? Did anybody see the
Funny.
baby? First of all, I asked my photographer. I said, "Well, how long did you stay up last night?" Because how did you get me photos in less than 24 hours? And we didn't leave till a little after 10. So I was so impressed with that. And man, the photos just captured, as best as it could, the essence of what we experienced, the camaraderie, the connections. I have gotten so many emails and messages and voice notes of people expressing their gratitude for how amazingly well last night was done, the level of excellence. But that's what I was saying, that all of us have a reputation. And you get to decide what your reputation is as it relates to sharing your voice. What is your reputation as it relates to how you show up? What is your reputation? People are always going to be saying something, and it's really your responsibility to help manage what's being said. Some people they just gonna be talking just because they ain't got nothing else to do but talk. But for the most part, overwhelmingly, what is your reputation? And that comes from showing up every time, even as a speaker. Are you known as the speaker who kind of half steps and it's like, oh, you're hit or miss? Okay, sometimes you're good, sometimes you're eh. Are you the speaker who every time you come to the stage or anybody's event, they're going to be like, oh my God, you are in for a treat? And there's pressure that comes with that, but it also helps me to hold me accountable for always bringing my A game to every platform. It doesn't matter if there are 100 people in the room, 10 people in the room, 1,000 people in the room. I am always going to bring my A game and the best version of me. But the only way I'm able to bring my A game over and over and over and over and over again is because I don't allow myself to become lax. I don't allow myself to stop learning. I don't allow myself to stop, as we've been talking about all day today, being in proximity to other greatness that again is infectious for me. And so that's what you have to ask yourself as you're continuing on and long after tonight and everything that you've experienced here. And I hope this has been an amazing virtual experience for you. I know we do virtual stuff, but we try to really bring you the best of the best in terms of how we presented it to you through this Zoom events platform. We've tried to bring you the best of the best in terms of our energy and our passion and excitement and enthusiasm for having you here. We've tried to do our best in staying on time because the one thing Dr. Cheryl don't play about is what? You got to do it for me one last time in the chat. The one thing Dr. Cheryl don't play about is what, y'all? Even the new people should know by now. Even if you ain't never worked with me, you done heard it so many times over these past 4 days. Thank you, y'all. I love that y'all been listening. Time. We don't play about no time. We had one little lapse, so we got a little bit behind on that first day because we were having some Zoom events issues, but we were able to get that resolved and then just keep things moving. And that's also, I hope you were able to see that modeled firsthand, what it looks like for things not, everything not to go perfect, even though you called yourself perfectly planning it. And the question is, how will you not react, but respond? Because we can't lose our cool and kirk out. We got, okay, let's breathe. Hold on. What we going to do? Because we're getting further and further. Okay, let's come up with another solution. And you have to be solution oriented in everything that you do. Even as a speaker, let me give you guys a couple quick examples. And I want to talk a little bit about some money stuff because we haven't talked much about money. And I don't want to let you go from this session, these sessions, and this experience without talking about money because that is an important part. It's not just impact, it's both. It's the impact, it's the income, it's the influence, it's your ability to monetize what you know. So I have had experiences in my 15 years of speaking where I had everything, so to speak, perfectly planned out. I planned, I prepared, I practiced my speech. I knew how I wanted to deliver it. I knew what I wanted to get across to the audience. I knew my talking points. I wasn't just winging it. And please put that in your notes. I'm never just wing it. It doesn't matter how good you are as a speaker. What happens when you just wing it, and there's a difference between just winging it and adjusting to the environment of the room. And I'll explain the two. So when you're winging it, you really didn't invest the time into planning, preparing, and practicing. And that's what you'll hear us emphasize over and over for those of you who are coming into the community, which I'm so excited. Y'all have been blowing us up. We are working things out creatively with you guys, and we cannot wait to see who the final folks are that actually said yes to themselves. You've been asking the questions, you've been having the conversations, you've been getting creative about how we work out the financial piece, and we just cannot wait to welcome you into the community. So anyway, so literally you don't want to wing it because what happens when you wing it is because you think you good, right? What happens when you wing it usually is that you talk more about self than you give value for the room. You usually talk more about self. And so I did this and I did that. And when I did this and when I accomplished that and you normally will start to go off on a tangent instead of actually giving a well-prepared presentation that adds greatest value to the audience. In ratio of 80-20, 80% to 20%, which percent do you think should be about the audience and which percent do you think should be about you? Tell me in the chat. Which percent, 80 or 20, should be about the audience? Y'all tell me in the chat because I want you to talk back to me for this final session. This is our last opportunity, y'all. Our last opportunity. Yes, Connie. 80. Yes, Pam. 80. Mm-hmm. Who else? Yes, Erica. 80%. Kimberly, yes. Kimberly, another Kimberly, Rita. 80% should be about for and about the audience. Only 20% should be about you. So even though I've talked about my story and I've shared that, there you should have some pages of notes of content that I've shared. And Even sound bites serve as content because it's the thing that you can recall to mind quickly and you can repeat it. You can remember, you can repeat it. And that will stick with you. For some of you, there are certain things that I've said, and I know because I've seen you posting it on social media. So I'm like, that hit a chord. And then you will back into, okay, and what did she say about this in addition to this little sound bite? So again, that's one of the things. Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you, Leah. That's another one of the things that we work on teaching you our sound bite. Leah's back with us. Hi, beautiful. We teach you how to use sound bites. Sound bites are especially and particularly important when you are participating in a panel discussion because panels are about what can you say in a very short window of time that's clear, that's concise, but that's memorable more than anything. Even if you're sitting on a panel with 4 or 5 other people. And even if you're on a panel and there's that one person, come on, y'all know what I'm talking about. The one person that hog up the mic and you have a moderator, unfortunately, that doesn't quite know how to effectively moderate and interrupt that person so that we're not taking time from everyone. You have to, it's almost like news. And you heard Kyle Ridley today talk about how news is. Normally, every news segment I do is either 3 minutes or it's 5 minutes, 3 or 5. Normally, I'm not there more than 5 minutes on set. And it goes like this. It's very similar to if you're giving a 3-minute speech. The only difference is you're not the only one talking. The difference is you have to answer the questions and respond to the person. So you're engaging with. So really, your 3-minute segment is really a minute segment because the person who is interviewing you they're guiding the conversation. And I'll say something with and I wanted to say this when Kyle was on, but we were kind of running out of time and I wanted to stay on time. Oftentimes what happens, which is why you need to have sound bites about who you are and what you do and the value that you bring, is because even though news and media will ask you to send them, hey, send me, 3 talking points or 5 talking points and a specific subject. So if I'm saying, hey, I want to talk about how to maintain authenticity as a public speaker. If that's just then I'll say, here are the 3 ways that you can maintain authenticity, or here are the 4 ways that you can. And normally they'll take those 4 talking points or 3 talking points, and they will put that up on the slide. They'll put that on the screen in between you talking, or they'll do a split screen, and it's you on this side with the person interviewing you, and it's your 4 talking points. But oftentimes, what they don't tell you about is the person who is interviewing you who completely goes off script. Ask me how I know. I have taken my sweet time to create a script and send it over to the news station, and I'm ready, and I think the person is going to follow my 1, 2, 3, 4 step, and they go completely rogue. And what happens is sometimes they go rogue. I think they be trying to test me. That's for real. I think they be trying to test me to see if I really know what I'm talking about. They're like, girl, let's just throw her a loop. Let's not talk about nothing she sent in. Let's talk about something completely out left field. I'm like, girl, what? That is not what this segment is supposed to be about. So you're trying to recall in your mind without notes. You're trying to recall and your nerves the 4 talking points. But normally, this is honestly, a good interviewer will follow the script. And normally, a good interviewer will say, so, Dr. Cheryl, you say in order to be a more authentic leader or a more authentic public speaker, number 1, you say that you have to open up your heart to da, da, da. They'll say it for you. Okay. And then you give more information about the talking point. And they'll say, okay, all right, great. That's great. And then number 2, you say, and they'll go through the 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a good interviewer. But those who, to me, I found are not as efficient and not as qualified in journalism, they be like, okay, so you said that we could be more authentic leaders. Tell us how that is. Well, girl, are you going to guide me into number 1, 2, 3, 4? You like, I'm already nervous. Now you want me to remember all of this stuff I sent y'all that you told me you were going to put up on the screen? Like, this is real from all this. I've been on media many, many, many times. And then, so that's one version, but then there's the version of before you get on news, before you go live, usually you sit there, if it's a seated conversation, you're sitting there on the couch when you come into the studio and you have maybe, usually somewhere between 2 or 3 minutes where you're sitting next to the person that's going to interview you before your interview. And so you all are talking and you're conversing and you might be sharing if this is the person's first time interviewing you. Sometimes I get the same interviewers and I have my favorites because they follow what makes sense to be a great interviewer. But this might be someone who, for the first time, maybe they're new to the news station. This is their first time interviewing me. They don't really know me, so they're kind of asking me questions, and I'm just being authentically me, and I'm telling them about my story, and yeah, and I have this coming out, and I have that, or I'm doing this or whatever. Y'all, why they will flip the whole script on the interview, and nothing will be about what I sent until we get to the very last 45 seconds, and now you're trying to rush through the four talking points. And I'm like, girl. So that's what we mean when we say you have to have a confidence and a conviction about what is your real core message. And what I would challenge and dare you to do is to always have 3 to 5 pillars that you always teach. What are my 3 to 5 pillars or my 3 talking points that no matter where I go, whether I'm asked to come on media or I'm asked to come to a podcast at the last minute, or if I'm even at a conference and the speaker that was supposed to come got delayed on a flight, for God's sake. That's happened to me where they put me in as the keynote speaker because the keynote speaker got delayed on a flight. So you don't want to be the speaker who's like, oh, shoot, I'm not ready for that. I ain't got no notes. I ain't got no preparation. I ain't got no, oh no, we don't turn down speaking opportunities. Oh, baby, you could ask me right now. Somebody could call me right now and text me and say, Dr. Cheryl, we're having this session at 9 o'clock and we don't have no speaker. Can you come? And I will be there. I will end this session at 8:45 and I will be right over there at 9. Yes, I will. And we will have some good stuff to say because I have a core framework or a step-by-step process or a methodology or a formula or a system. Are y'all picking this up? Are you taking notes? Like I'm always going to have core things that I teach so that I always have something to pull on. I'm not trying to grab it out of the air, and I'm certainly not at the last minute trying to ask GPT to give me a speech that I don't know. Which means if you put it in Chat GPT and it's a speech you don't know, it's going to sound like you don't know it. It's going to sound like you're reading it. Not only is it going to sound like you're reading it, your eyes, if it's virtual, are going to be reading the screen. And let me tell y'all something. All y'all that wear glasses, I can see you. I can see you reading the screen. I can see the glare in your glasses. So you got to make sure that, everything about how you're presenting speaks to what you want people to take away and how you want them to view you. So we don't wing it. We plan, prepare, and practice. However, there is something where you adjust and you pivot some based on the environment of the room when you get there. Because all of us, I believe by human nature, we create in our minds what we think something is going to be before we even get into the thing. We already have this preconceived notion or idea based on who they told us the audience is going to be, who's going to be in that room. Oh, if you tell me it's going to be corporate people, I'm like, oh, Lord, I already know what this is. They're going to be laughing like, that was funny, right? That's my preconceived notion in my mind of how corporate people sound. Because I worked for attorneys for so long. It's like, I want to laugh, but I can't really laugh. And so they give you the little fake laugh, right? And you're like, oh, God. And anybody who knows me knows I'm like a free spirit. So it's like, I love to laugh. I love to enjoy life. I want to talk about serious things, but I want to do it in an environment that is enjoyable, that just nurtures my soul. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is serious stuff, but I mean, do we have to be stiff while we talking about it? And so if I have that preconceived idea or notion, and this is why I always recommend every speaker, you go into the room at least an hour before you're going to speak. Don't come rushing in. Don't sit in the green room. I mean, that's your choice if you need peace, quiet, and calm before you get on a stage. Then by all means, go into the green room. But I don't want to be in the green room. And I've actually, kind of butted heads with a couple people a couple times because they wanted to force me to go into the green room. And I said, again, I'm going to repeat. I appreciate you so much for doing your job. I know this is what they told you to do, but Dr. Cheryl is a little different. And I try to be as gracious as possible. I thrive off of the energy of the room. So I would rather be in the room than tucked away in the green room eating grapes and whatever else y'all got back there. I can buy my own grapes after this. I promise you. And I will not bill you. And I'm as gracious as possible, but don't tuck me up. No, I need to be in the room so that I can, two things I do. I mentioned this yesterday. I'm gonna repeat it because I think it's important. Number one, I assess what the energy is of the room. Are they dry? Are they laughing and it's a hearty room? But also I'd like to listen to one or two speakers prior to me. Now, I'm not listening to the one or two speakers before me because I need their content. I have plenty of content. Like I mean, I don't necessarily need a script. I've been doing this for long enough. I can give a speech without with barely any notice, okay? But that's what happens when you build it over 15 years. But I want to look and see, okay, the two speakers before me, well, she was very kind of animated and big, and she was churchy, and she took them home to Jesus, and she talked about God, and she was, and had the big gestures, and okay, great. If that person who spoke right before me is that the big energy, I don't want to give the audience more of what they already experienced. Now, that doesn't mean that I am filtering who I am. It means I am adapting so that the room gets what they need. These are the mechanics of this is the stuff they don't, this is not in a book. This is from firsthand experience of what really works so that no matter who else speaks, no matter who else is in that room, it's my job to get up on that platform to give them 80% of what is going to serve them, but to keep it memorable to them, where it's an unforgettable, not necessarily that I'm unforgettable, but that what I share is unforgettable. And so let's say that now I am an energetic speaker. That's what I get hired for a lot because of my energy, my passion, my drive, all the things that we talked about earlier, the emotion. And so typically I am always going to come out and it's going to be strong. I'm not going to thank people. I like to thank the Academy Awards for the opportunity. I like to thank all the little people in the room and the audience. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not thanking people. And I'm not apologizing. And I'm not saying, oh my God, oh, I didn't think I was going to make it here. Oh, because I've been sick for the last 2 days, but I'm here. Ain't God good? Y'all. First of all, if you a professional and you getting a check, baby, I expect you not to allow a little cough to keep you home. If you don't take some daggone Dayquil during the day and some NyQuil at night and keep it moving and come get this check, that's what I expect of a pro. You said you was a professional. Okay, you gonna be okay. Your little cough, just cough that way. Or put your mask on, right? So I'm not gonna give excuses. I'm not gonna give explanations. I'm just gonna go in because I am here to give all of my time to serving you. That's what they hired me for. So normally I do come in. It might be a mantra, and I'm big on mantras and getting people up out of their seat and standing and engaged. And I might say something like, I have these. Oh, of course I don't have any around. Hold on, I'll show you. I have I will have like these. This one is all these like medals. And this isn't really a good example, but the ones that I have, it's just like this, but on here it says winner across here. It doesn't have the microphone. It says winner. And I will, depending on my hair, right now I have a bun. So I would, and this is important. This is why you plan, practice, and prepare, because I know I can't do this opening with this bun. So if I'm going to do this opening, I got to make sure my hair is appropriate so that it easily goes over. I got to make sure look at this opening. So this, I'm going to be struggling with this to get this over my head. But in other instances where my hairstyle is appropriate, if I know that's going to be what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in and as soon as they introduce me, I'm going to say, I need everybody in this room to stand up. I need you on your feet because I need you to understand how powerful it is that you are here in this moment in time right now in a room full of other winners. Like, how powerful is that to be in a room with other winners? Now, what I want you to do is I'm going to ask you to repeat this mantra after me. Now, my only requirement is that you don't give me your everyday typical 9 to 5 energy, because some of y'all be sleeping. I need you to give me that excited, oh my God, TGI Friday energy. I need you to give me the energy you would give as if you were at the Beyonce concert. Can y'all handle that? Can everybody in the room handle that? Now, let me tell you something. If you can't handle it, I will talk about you. I will talk about you on my social media platform. So y'all might want to get it right, NASA. Yes, I talk to people at NASA like that. Whoever it is, I insert that company name. And I'll say, are you ready? Now I got them fired up. Now it feels like a challenge, right? And what I'm doing is I'm getting them excited. I'm creating excitement at the beginning of the speech to set the precedent and the tone for what they're going to experience from me. But I am also breaking the mold to let them know you are not about to sit and listen to a boring lecture. That is not what this is. This is something completely different because I'm disrupting the norm. And so I say, are y'all ready, NASA? And I'm like, I can't hear you. I said, are you ready? I said, I need you to be so loud that somebody from the front desk comes and tells us we making too much noise in here. Are you ready, NASA? Yeah, I am a winner. And I'm putting these on my neck. And I'll take like 4 or 5 of these. And they're repeating, I am. And now when you practice, you got to make sure the call and repeat, you create time for it. If you're timing yourself, you can't just be like, I'm a winner. I think like a winner. I act like, well, girl, didn't you say you wanted us to repeat? Calm down, slow down, breathe, give us a moment. And so you got to make sure that you allot time for the repeat. So I am a winner. I am a winner. I think like a winner. I think like a winner. I'm putting these on my neck. I act like a winner. I act like a winner. Winning is in my DNA. So that, right? And I just take them through a mantra. And I won't bore you with the entire mantra. And literally after that, depending on the setup of the room, which is I can't give you all everything because this is what we teach at the class, but it depends on the setup of the room, what comes next. Because how many of you know if the room is set up classroom style, that is not the opportunity to say, now I want you to leave your table and I want you to go find 3 people and I want you to high five them. Why would that not be the appropriate setup of the room to do that activity? Anybody have any ideas? Type it in the chat, let me know. Why would I not do that? I could do the mantra, but my follow-up to that would not be, now leave your seat and go find 3 other people around the room and high five them. Yes. Thank you, Angela. Because it's too difficult to move around. Because if you know the way that hotels and venues set up classroom style seating, there's the table and there are chairs behind it. But what comes right behind those chairs? The next table and chairs. And then the next table and chairs. And so, yeah, you got people scoot, and excuse me. It's too much disruption. Now it's not fun. It's just disruption. But I could potentially do that if there are round tables and there's adequate space for people to move about. So it's things like that that allow you to really come into a space and create an energy that, again, is magnetic, but also real. It's relatable and it becomes unforgettable for the audience. So always make sure that you're planning, preparing, and practicing. And also a part of practice is the timing piece. This is a part that a lot of speakers, they don't do, or they'll do it a couple times or they'll do it halfway. Oh, no. No, I mean timing, knowing exactly how much time each part of your speech is. So here's a great way to do that as it relates to your, first of all, let's talk about your outline, if you will. I don't have any problem with someone starting where they type out every word. I don't have any problem with that. Because what you can do if you have a Word document and you literally type out every word of the speech is then you can break it into segments and you can decide what don't I need. Sometimes that visual, having it actually where you in printed format on a piece of paper might be easier for you to be able to figure out what do I don't like this word. Let me cross this out. I want to replace it, And I'm big on like having my pen and my highlighters so I can decide what I want to have and what I want to omit. And then I go into timing. So I will have my timer for opening. What's my opening and how long is it? And then I will read it, but I read it in the way that I would say it. So if I have it, let's see, what can I use as an example? If my opening is this, it says, before working with Dr. Cheryl, what was your biggest struggle or limitation about using your voice, sharing your story? Right, we're just using this as an example. So I'm not going to read it like that. I'm going to put my timer on. All of us have a stopwatch on our phone. And I'm literally going to, let me go to my stopwatch. And as soon as I do it, I pretend like they're calling me to the stage. All right, y'all give it up for our keynote speaker of the afternoon. She's this, she's that, blah, 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 blah. They're reading the bio. All right, y'all give it up for Dr. Cheryl Wood. And I come on. As soon as I get to that, as soon as I get on the stage, I might do the whatever my opening is going to be. If it's a mantra, then that's what I stick with the mantra. But I mean after that initial opening where I'm engaging the audience, then like what's next? And so first I'll time my opening with the mantra. And I'll say, one of the things I am big on that you'll learn about from Dr. Cheryl Wood is that I am big on energy. And I believe that energy is infectious. It's contagious. And so I want to make sure that we are all infected with the right energy, with positive energy, with winner energy by the time we leave this room today. So can I ask everybody to stand up? Now, if your neighbor is not standing up, I just want you to turn to him and say, neighbor, what's wrong with you? Now, unless they are incapable of standing, I need everybody standing up. Can we handle that? Come on, NASA, y'all. Y'all work with me now. Everybody awake? I know it's early in the morning. I haven't had my Starbucks either, but we're going to get it after this. And I'm literally talking to the audience, but I need to know how much time this is taking me. All right, I see everybody standing. Are we ready? Can you handle this? You're going to repeat after me. But here's the only thing. Before you start repeating, I need you to give me your level 10 energy, not your Monday through Friday, I'm at work and I don't really want to be here energy. NASA, can you handle that? Yes. Are you sure? All right, let's go. I am a winner. I am a winner. I think like a winner. I think like a winner. I act like a winner. I act like a winner. I walk like a winner. I walk like a winner. I talk like a winner. I talk like a winner. Winning is in my DNA. Winning is in my DNA. And ain't nothing, and nobody gonna stop me from winning big. Might be from winning big. Yes. Give yourselves a round of applause. Everybody's clapping. All right, now look, I know this is gonna be uncomfortable, but this is what winners do. They get used to doing the things that are uncomfortable. Would you agree? Yes or yes? Now, y'all notice I didn't give you no option for no. Because, yeah, all day for this whole session, you're going to be saying yes to Dr. Cheryl. So just get used to it. It's okay. You'll get used to it. You adjust. I need you to go find 3 people. I need you to high five them or fist bump them or give them the shoulder or the elbow, whatever you want to do. And I know the women, y'all going to be hugging. It's okay. I need you to find 3 other people and I need you to look them in their eye and say, I see you, winner. And the world is waiting on you. And so now I got to make sure I account. Now that was 2 minutes, but I got to account for at least another minute that they're going to be doing the activity that I just. So let's just assume that 3 minutes of my speech is just my opening. Now I got to make sure how much time did they actually give me for the speech? Did they give me 60 minutes? Did they give me 40 minutes? Did they give me 30 minutes? Because if they gave me 30 minutes or 20 minutes, do I really want to spend 3 minutes on an opening? That's what you have to start to back into. So those are the mechanics. Those are the breakdowns of how we do speaking in GSU. And then you go from that and you say, okay, and I got to give them time to get back to their seats. So maybe it's going to be 3.5 minutes. Maybe it's not going to be 3. It could potentially be 4 because when you get people up and moving, sometimes they think they don't want to connect, but everybody wants to connect. Human beings want to connect with other people. And I don't care how stuffy and stiff you are. I'll never forget I went to a speaking engagement and there was a gentleman who was in the audience, Caucasian gentleman, who was a Brit. And he came up to me at the end and he said, and my speaking style is very human. It's very relational. It's all about connectivity. It's warm, it's inviting, but it's also challenging. And he came up to me and he stood in line. He stood in line to wait to come up to me, only to come up to me and say, young lady, yes, young gentleman. I joke with people like that. Yes. He's like, well, I'm a Brit and we don't believe in all that mushy gushy stuff and all that, whatever he said, how he expressed it. But then he said what I didn't expect. He said, but you were phenomenal. He said, we don't hug, but could I get a hug? Hold on, let me walk off the stage for a minute. What? What? I was floored. I will never forget that experience. I was floored. The way that you can transform people's minds and hearts just by being the authentic you. Don't ever go into any room, any platform, any stage, any opportunity where you're sharing your voice and try to be a different version of you or try to be somebody else because you're never going to win. You're going to find yourself fumbling and mumbling and bumbling and then you leave the stage and now you don't feel great about yourself because you know you didn't really give the audience the best of you. Because the best of you is the authentic you. And it's all of the authentic you. So what's the authentic me? Well, I'm funny. I think I'm funny. I don't care what nobody said. I think I'm funny. So you're going to get these couple jokes. you might not want them. You're going to get these couple jokes. And then I'm going to look at you like you're crazy if you don't laugh. And you know what I'll say? Here's a great thing. Because you know sometimes you got to test new material. And you're like, okay, I've been saying that one for a while. Let me see if this one will work. And you'll go in and you go to the stage and you say the joke that's supposed to get a laugh. And it's crickets. It's just silence. You're like, okay, so you know what I do? Y'all, I don't take myself too seriously. And because I make the room friends with me, not I'm the lofty keynote speaker and you're the lowly peasant attendee. No, like we break those walls down right from the get-go. And because I do that, I'm able to engage with the room differently than a lot of speakers. So if I do say the joke and it's like, but boom. Okay, laughter? No, okay, no, but boom, nothing. Okay. I was like, okay, well, that's not how I saw that going because I thought that was pretty funny when I wrote it in my speech. Now that gets the laugh. So the joke didn't get the laugh, but the follow-up got the laugh. And nothing that you can do is better than breaking the tension in a room with laughter. That's the best thing that you can do in a speech is incorporate some laughter. It gets people in this. First of all, they're releasing these things called endorphins that make you feel good. And it just gives them permission. Whatever you do as the speaker, you give them permission to do. So if you're stuffy, you give them permission to stay stuffy. If you're free, you're real, you're raw, you're relatable and relevant, you give them permission to be that. If you laugh, you give them, for God's sake, permission to laugh. So you got to ask yourself, what do I want to give this room permission to do? But at the end of the day, you are responsible for the ongoing energy of the room. And if you go into a room, and I'm going to switch over into money talk, but I wanted to share this. If you go into a room and you start speaking and you see that, the energy is not really what you want it to be, you got to reflect on why is the energy not what I want it to be? And more importantly, how do I shift the energy? So if I go into a room and I start speaking, and especially for the long speaking engagements, like y'all, it's mastery to keep anyone's attention for 60 whole minutes. But baby, yesterday, do I have to say, oh, they didn't want me to stop speaking. I told y'all I complained about the 60 minutes, baby. I spoke for 70 minutes. They was like, oh, okay, get him out of here. Get him off the stage, Dr. Cheryl. After I complained about the 60 minutes, I was like, 60 minutes? I was like, wow, I haven't done a 60-minute speech in such a long time. Oh, most times it's 30 minutes, maybe 40 at max, but you guys sure you want me to speak for 60 minutes? I was like, okay, I'm gonna see what happens. Baby, they had to almost sandbag, the Sandman with the hook and yank me off the stage because I was still going. But that's because I'm in purpose. So if I come into a room and let's say I get 60 minutes and let's say I'm 25 minutes in and I kind of notice it's kind of like, they're there, but it seems like I'm just a talking head and they're kind of like people are on their phone, like pay attention to what's happening in the room. If people are on their cell phone, you have lost their interest. If they're texting, if they're emailing, if they're on their laptop, you have lost their interest. If they're getting up and they go into the bathroom, you should be so good that nobody wants to leave your session. They're like, oh, baby, I hold this. And they might be at the table like this. Whew, but I hold this. I ain't leaving this session. And that only comes from an awareness, a heightened awareness of what's happening in the room. Sometimes I am an energized speaker, so I don't expect anybody to go to sleep in a session that I'm doing. But I am also very clear of the human body and how it works. And if you are overheated, what happens? Okay. And if you just ate lunch and you're overheated, oh, baby, they in there snoring. They talking about, oh, I'm resting my eyes. No, baby, you were snoring during this speech. What you ain't going to do is sit on this front row and snore. So I don't call anybody out like that. But what I do is I wake the room up. So if I'm talking about something, I'm saying, yes, so all of us need to make sure that we are using our voices. Your story truly matters, but it's not just using your voice, it's the way that you powerfully implement da 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 da. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute, folks are sleeping. And it's the way that you powerfully articulate and project, like adding some volume into your voice. So here's what I want to do. Is everybody with me? Everybody ready? Because we're about to do an activity. I need to make sure everybody's up. Now I know y'all just had lunch. So you might want to rest your eyes a little bit, but I just want you to rest your eyes after this session. Is that okay? Now I'm teasing, but I'm not calling anybody out individually. That's how I banter back and forth with my audience. And that's honestly why I feel that I'm booked over and over and over as a speaker, because I'm just real and I'm relatable. Again, I don't have my nose stuck up in the air because you gave me a badge that said keynote speaker. Like that don't mean nothing to me. What means to me is did the check clear? Did that clear? Okay, we good. You can keep your badge, baby. I'm not worried about no keynote speaker. And so literally I might do something like that, or I might do something and say, so here's what you've got to do. You got to make sure that you are, or something that jolts them and gets them awake so that they know. And then I'll even say sometimes, I'll say, whoo, okay, now I'm the speaker. I'm up here. I know I'm under the lights, but it's a little warm. Is it warm to anybody else in the room? I will stop in the midway of my speech and I'll just take a temperature check of the room. Temperature, not the real temperature, but temperature check of the people and how they feel so that I'm gauging what's happening. Oh, okay, it's too hot in this room because I'm up here in a full-blown menopause sweat. And that's what I'll say. I'll be like, look here, now I don't know how old y'all think I am or how young y'all think I am. But this sister right here, 5'1", 51, straight in menopause. Now, I know the men might not know what that means, but the ladies in the room understand what that means. I'm sweating. I'm hot. So if we could have somebody on the team to please ask if the hotel would lower the AC, get a little cooler in here, I would be so grateful and so appreciative. And then I always make sure I express gratitude and appreciation because I don't want to come across as egotistical and arrogant. But if it's hot, it's hot. And if I'm sweating profusely, it's very hard. Now, I'm not like a man because I can't just carry a towel and wipe my face because, baby, I got makeup on. So it's very different. That's what I'm saying about women really standing in their feminine energy and understanding, the dynamics and mechanics of you as a woman versus a man speaker. There is a difference. Because my friend Delatoro McNeil, he can jump off the stage and jump up on the table. Baby, I got a dress on. I'm not going to be doing a whole bunch of jumping. We're not doing that. But he can get away. A guy can kind of get away with that. That would be a little bit odd for me to be jumping up. Okay, hold on. First of all, if I jump off, somebody got to help me up. So now that's an extra 5 minutes off my time because I could jump down, but getting back up is the issue. So you got to know you. You got to learn you. You have to be aware of what you're willing to do, what you can do, what's going to look good for your brand versus, oh, I like the way he do that or she do that. It's not that you can't take clues and, pointers from people, but at the end of the day, now what makes me unique? What makes me stand out? What is it that I do that nobody else does? I'm not a copycat. None of you are a copycat. You are an original. And an original is not running around looking to look like everybody else, being photocopied. You're not a photocopy. So I hope that helps a little bit and gives you kind of a little more insight, especially of those, again, of you are still on the fence. Now, I don't know what you're on the fence for. I done served you for 4 days. See, this is how I talk to my people. All right, get off the fence. Come on into the community. We waiting. We ready. We're excited. By the way, kudos to Kimberly Cano, who has signed up and joined us as a part of the Imprint program. We are so excited. I don't know if she's here, but I'm still going to call her name out. And we have some others of you who are, you're lingering on. We got some phone calls going out tonight. We got some people who were driving back home because they came up yesterday for the event. And we have some calls scheduled with them. And a couple of you who are still deciding. And that's okay. We just don't want you to miss out on your exclusive opportunity. Okay. So I want to jump into the conversation a little bit about monetization meeting impact and understanding that at the end of the day, guys, you'll hear me say over and over and over and over and over again that somebody is certainly currently waiting on what you're sitting on. But sometimes we overthink We overthink. And I don't want you to go into overthinking mode. Now, yes, we want to refine. Yes, we want to keep growing. Yes, we want to become masters at some level and then continue to grow in those levels. But all of you really can start with what you know right now and start sharing that in some fashion, shape, or form or fashion to be able to start monetizing. And so I'm going to share some thoughts with you that I think will serve you well. And then I'm going to share 20. Yes, I might only give you 10, but I think you're going to want all 20 when you hear me read them. And maybe what I'll do is based on your response to these affirmations, they're money and voice power affirmations. If you like it enough, then maybe we'll put it into a PDF and we'll send it out through email so that you can have them and you can pen them on your wall or put them in, your notebook or wherever you keep things that really do empower you more. So at the end of the day, you really don't need this, I got to have a vault of videos, or I got to have a $5,000 website, or I got to have 10,000 people in my email list in order for me to start making money from what I already know. That is a myth. That is not true. There is money, there is monetization, there is profit in what you already know. There's profit in your lived experiences that has gotten you to this point in your life. There's profit in your story, but it's just about turning that story into how-to content, into a blueprint or a formula or a roadmap that someone else can follow a step-by-step system to be able to accomplish some level of what you've accomplished. And so you have the ability to take those stories, that how-to content, those lived experiences, and of course, your external knowledge as well, and turn it into something that people can buy. So I'm going to give you these 4 parts that I believe will help you to at least start thinking about what that can look like for you. Number one is identify your profitable knowledge. And that really is about doing an inventory of what you're sitting on. So first, when we talk about identify your profitable knowledge, it is decide what you will sell. That comes from what you already know, from what you have already solved, from what you have already discovered, from what you have already lived through. And there are 3 questions I want you to ask yourself as it relates to deciding what you're going to sell based on the profitable knowledge that you're already sitting on. Number 1, I think it's important to ask yourself, what do people already ask me for advice about constantly? What do people already ask me for advice about constantly? Because if they're asking you for advice and you're constantly getting this, it means someone already sees you as an expert or an authority, even though you don't see yourself as an expert or authority. And it's amazing how long it takes us to believe that we are an expert or authority. And I think a part of it is a combination between we don't really believe it versus we don't want to claim it. So you believing it is one thing. And maybe you believe it inside, but maybe it feels yucky to you to claim it, to say it out loud, because you feel like somehow it positions you in a space of ego instead of service. And I'll say what I said over the past 3 days. When you are sitting on a solution that somebody else is waiting on and that they desperately need, and you choose not to share the solution, you've got to ask yourself, am I selfless or selfish? Because it's not about whether or not you're introverted or not. Oh, I'm just so introverted. I don't want, that's nothing. Nobody, that's going to be your answer to God. Well, God, you know I was introverted. You created me. Now you up in heaven debating with God. Come on now. Like that can't be an excuse. I love Mickey Taylor, editor at large of Essence magazine. I'm blessed to call her a friend. And I love what she says. And when she's come to my conferences and spoken, and she spoke as the keynoter for my conference in Paris, France, and she spoke as a keynoter for so many events that I've done. But my first time hearing her and having her as one of my speakers was at Playtime is Over. And that was back in, I want to say that was like 2014, 15, maybe 2015. And she made such a profound statement from the stage. And she said, when I go out and I go and do the work that God has called me to do, and I'm on these stages and platforms, she said, I really am by nature shy. She said, but see, what happens is God can't use the shy version of Mickey Taylor to make the impact that he wants me to make. And therefore, the shy Mickey, oh, she got to stay at home when I go out to these stages and these platforms, because she can't come with me. She can't travel with me because I got work to do. So I leave her at home. That, y'all, that. So whatever is the excuse that you've been giving, it's time to step away from the excuse and step into the power. Number two, what problems have I solved for myself that others still struggle with? What problems have I solved for myself that others still struggle with? And that I know it's a problem. I know it's a challenge. I know if people are looking for information on this. Y'all, there are like 60,000 searches on Google every second of every day. What does that tell you? That people are looking for information. I don't even know the stats yet, but I'm going to look it up on the searches through ChatGPT and some of these other AI programs but people are always looking for information. Not only are they always looking for information, people are always investing in information. The question just becomes, is it your information or is it somebody else's information? Because people are going to invest in education, continuing education, new education, another degree, another certificate, more training. You can try to fool yourself, but most people want to be on the side of growth. The thing that is not growing is dying. And people have a sense of accomplishment. I think as humans, we have a sense of accomplishment when we're able to continue growing and learning and discovering new things. Number three, what can I explain step by step that gets results for someone as it relates to that struggle? What can I explain step by step that gets results for someone else as it relates to that struggle that I know I've solved for myself? I stated this earlier and I'm going to state it again because I think it's so important. Sometimes we overthink who our target audience is. And my belief is that your target audience is the previous version of you. It's the version of you that wanted the answers that you now have. Now you're walking in the space, walking in the calling, walking in the expertise, walking in the authority of the knowledge. But there was once a version of you that wanted to be in this space. So the people that you're likely called to serve, most times, it's not every time, there's always exceptions to the rule, but most of the people, many of the people that I've worked with, it ends up being the target audience it's the people who are the previous version of you and they want something similar to you. The people that come into my space want to be on stage, they want to speak. They are, most of them, the previous version of me, which was the woman who was sitting in the audience and drooling over the people who were on stage because I'm like, oh my God, I want to do that. They're the previous version of me because many of them are stuck in dead-end jobs that make them feel like they're in an existence versus living, and they want out. And they look at me and they say, oh, wait a minute, Dr. Cheryl was a legal secretary for 14 years. She got out. She started 15 years ago. She built this successful speaking business. And now look at her. She's traveling all over the world. Right? And they want, maybe not the exact thing, but they want some version of that. So for example, I'll give you like really simple examples. If you lost 40 pounds after 3 failed diets, you have a roadmap that somebody else wants. By the way, if that is true, I want the roadmap. If you've negotiated your 3 salary increases on your job and you only been there for 3 years and they've been significant increases, somebody wants to know that is how-to training. So don't make it overcomplicated what you can teach people. Write down 3 to 5 skills or accomplishments or wins or experiences that you could teach someone else. Because what's ordinary to you is extraordinary to somebody else. What's ordinary is like every day, it's like, oh, I could do this with my hands behind my back. I could do this blindfolded. Yeah, but somebody else can't. Somebody else wants the answer. They want the blueprint. They want the roadmap. They want the step-by-step system. They want the process. They want the methodology, the formula. Come on. You got it. Why are you sitting on it instead of selling it? Part 2. Once you have identified your profitable knowledge, what you know so well that you can sell that thing, you can put it into a system, process, formula, methodology. Part 2 is create one signature piece of content. This is where a lot of speakers, authors, coaches, experts go kind of left because, well, this is left. They go left because they're trying to create too much at one time, simultaneously. And how many of you know that if you're focused on too many things at one time, it's all going to end up a hot mess? So if you are not getting any type of monetary results right now from your profitable knowledge, then why not try it by just starting with one thing? So you can turn your knowledge into a signature content asset. Like, this is the thing that you're going to be known for. Like, now I'm known for GSU. I'm known for our speaker certification through GSU, right? That's one of the biggest things, one of the biggest pieces of my business is how I teach and train leaders, entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, authors through GSU. And this doesn't have to be a whole bunch of stuff. It doesn't have to be a GSU. Like, you're talking, this has been years getting to putting my finger on what I wanted to create and how I wanted the community to feel, what I wanted the culture to be. But you can choose one format based on what's easiest for you right now without overthinking and overcomplicating it. So what I mean by that is, do you have a core area of expertise that you can turn into a live Zoom workshop? And maybe it's a 60-minute or a 75-minute workshop training, and it comes with the replay of it. And it teaches that thing that you say everybody asks you about, that you were able to solve a problem related to that topic for yourself, and that you create a step-by-step system on how somebody else can experience something similar. Or if you are the person who says, well, sure, I don't have a lot of time, I'm busy, I work a full-time job still, and I got this going on, and I got a family, and I got a husband, I got this and that. Okay, then fine. You say, I don't have the bandwidth to facilitate a 75-minute workshop consistently, right? Because you have to do it consistently. We'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, well, how about a pre-recorded video mini course? Literally, it could be 3 to 5 lessons on whatever this area of expertise is, and each of the lessons is 10 minutes. If I have 5 lessons and they're each 10 minutes, that only takes 50 minutes of my time to record that mini course. And now you have an actual signature piece of content that you can sell over and over and over again consistently. Now let me be clear. Depending on what you choose, you might have to incur additional expense to get it up and running. Because if you have a mini course, a video course, well, what's the platform that you're going to use to have it uploaded and to have that mini course uploaded so that people can get access to it? So maybe you do have to purchase a Thinkific or Teachable platform or Graphy or any type of platform that allows you to upload digital content. So I want to be clear that you recording the actual mini course does not have to be something that you expend dollars on, but there may be an extension to that you will have to invest in, which in this case would be, the type of platform that's, again, like a Kajabi, Thinkific, Teachable, Graphy, a learning management system, a LMS is what we call it. Okay. So just think about that. It might even just be a PDF document that you call XYZ guide or XYZ blueprint or XYZ roadmap. So let me give you an example, and then let me give you 3 steps to help you consider this even more. If your skill, and I'm gonna keep it simple, if your profitable knowledge, your skill set is helping people meal prep or plan meals, think about a signature asset, because we said one, called the 7-day family meal planning blueprint or the 7-day meal prep blueprint. Because how many of you know somebody who is interested in learning how to meal prep because they want to eat cleaner, they want to save time, and especially if you want to release weight, meal prepping can be so valuable and beneficial. Because if you don't, let me tell you something, when you're trying to release weight, you got to cook at home. You got to cook your own food. because it is too tempting when you're out and you're just grabbing something. Because once that hunger kicks in, you're like, oh, McDonald's, which I can't eat McDonald's anymore. It's like, oh, when I was 12, yeah. Now 50, 51, no, baby, no McDonald's. But something that is unhealthier for you than the healthy foods that are going to help you to shed the weight and shed the pounds. If your lived experience is, I overcame, let's put it in public speaking, I overcame the fear of public speaking, your one asset could be speak without fear, a 5-step roadmap. That could be a PDF blueprint that you get, again, here's the extending cost, that you get beautifully designed so that it feels rich. Did you guys see the digital workbook? We didn't just type some stuff on Word and send it to you. We invested money to have that guidebook beautifully designed and appealing to the eye because we wanted you to feel significant because you are. We wanted you to feel our heart that you have something to offer. And that means if you believe in people that you're serving that way, you don't give them no junk. God ain't make me no junk. God don't make junk. So if he didn't make me junk, I ain't giving you junk. So think about it in that way. So the extending cost is likely going to be having someone to design it in a way that is visually appealing so that when people get it, they're not just like, oh yeah, I got these 5 sheets. It's a roadmap and all it is somebody typed it in Word and put it up here and say there's a PDF. But instead they're impressed with what you've put in to produce the end product. So those are just 2 ideas, but I want you to keep it simple and I want you to do these 3 things. 1, write down 3 to 5 main steps of a process that you would offer to someone based on whatever you're deciding is going to kind of be the topic, the theme, the thing you're going to discuss. The one signature piece of content that you want to share based on your profitable knowledge. 3 to 5 steps, because that's all it really takes. Because how many of you know if you give people too much information, now you're word vomiting all over them. And now they're overwhelmed with all the other information they have to take in the world, in their lives, in their business, in their career, and their kids' stuff, their husband stuff, all the stuff. And now they become overwhelmed, and people who are overwhelmed do not take action. They stay stuck. So that's why you keep hearing me say, don't overthink it, don't overprocess it, keep it simple. Can you come up with 3 to 5 core steps to a process that will allow them to get something that you're promising? So it has to be a promised outcome on the end. In the first example I shared, the 7-day family meal planning blueprint, what's the outcome on the end? That they're going to have the blueprint, the step-by-step process. That's all a blueprint is, that'll allow them to be able to successfully meal plan for 7 days. If it's about the Speak Without Fear, the 5-step roadmap, it's going to be 5 clear, concise, compelling, and real steps that's going to help them get closer to overcoming that fear, or at least immobilizing the fear every time they're about to get on stage. Number 2, add 1 example or 1 story for each of the 5 steps. 1 example or 1 story. And keep in mind, this doesn't just have to be a PDF document. It can be what else? It can be a workshop that you teach for 60 minutes, 75 minutes, 90 minutes. Or it can be something that you've pre-recorded, the mini course. And this is the content that you would include in those 5. We discussed 5 lessons at 10 minutes each. So you could have a session on each of those. Again, 5 lessons would be the 5 steps that you create. Here's the 5 steps, which I put into 5 lessons, and each of them are 10 minutes each. And now this is my mini course. And it can become your signature mini course. Just like we typically, all of us as speakers, have a signature talk. You should have a signature story. And now you have a signature piece of content that you sell. And then number 3, add or include 1 to 2 actionable tips for each step. And that is your first sellable product that you can create just based on knowledge. Not necessarily, oh, I've got to get out and do this, and I've got to have this, and I've got to have that, and you're overthinking it. Start selling what you already know and what's already in your hands as you continue to learn and grow, and then you develop that. But many speakers are staying stuck and still because the world is telling you Everybody around you is telling you that you got to have this big, significant thing. You got to spend a lot of money on it, creating it. And, there are ways to start simple. I'll never forget when I first started speaking, y'all. I went to this conference, and it was a pretty big conference. I was brand new. And this conference used to have like I'll call it a vendor's row for loss of words. I don't know what it was called exactly. But it was like a vendor's row. So exhibitors, vendors were there selling their products. And there was this one speaker who I'd followed some of his work. And he was considered highly successful as a speaker. And I kind of like went over past his table and I was like, you know how you have the moment? I was like, I was shocked at the stuff that I saw on his table that did not seem like it was professionally done, professionally designed. It looked like some stuff that he, kind of put at home together and printed the sheets out and had the little binders that he was selling and all that. Can I say something else though? He was selling them Jones out. Like, he had a line of people because he had a reputation. People weren't as concerned with how it looked, even though I think excellence is important. But in my mind, he was starting with what he had. He was starting somewhere and he was choosing progress over perfection. And some of us get stuck in perfection and we never sell the thing. We never offer the thing. We never pitch it. We never market it because we think it has to be perfect. And we got every little dot. No, excellence over perfection. Is it done in excellence? The highest level of excellence that you have access to at this season, because you'll grow and all of us will grow. And at some point you'll look back at your stuff and be like, oh Lord, I remember I was selling them little janky, them books, them binders at that conference. I remember that. And you all have a good laugh about some of the janky stuff you probably sell in the earlier phases of your journey. But at least you started selling. At least you weren't another broke speaker, starving artist. You were choosing to take something that you already had access to and use the resources that you had access to and start selling it. Let me give you the final two, and then I'll give you these affirmations. Part 3 is market without overcomplicating it. Y'all, all marketing is you telling people who need your solution that you have it. Can we just take all of the fancy language out of marketing? It is just you telling people who need your solution, hey, I got it. I know you need this thing. I know you've been looking for it. Hey, I got it. And I dare you, I challenge you, I charge you. Don't wait until you have a bunch of money for funnels and ads. Do you know how much the big companies are spending in ads? The ad spend, anybody have any idea think about the Tony Robbins and the Russell Brunsons and the Brendan Burchard and all those folks. Do you understand how much money they're spending in ads on a monthly basis? Does anybody have any idea of how much they're spending on ads on a monthly basis? Yeah, they're sometimes spending upwards of $1 million on ads on a monthly basis. Millions. I'm assuming you ain't got millions to spend on ads every month. That's just an assumption that I'm going to roll with. I don't normally make assumptions or presumptions, but I'm going to make a good assumption that you might not have that in your marketing budget. And so it's important that you don't, again, compete or compare with what anybody else is doing. Now, that might be your goal. I think we should have goals. We talked about goals as a part of the vision. Those goals, the incremental goals that get you to where you want to be. But can you start where you are first? So what does that look like? How do I market without feeling like I got to wait till I have, millions of dollars for ads, or I have all this money to spend on funnels, or I have a huge CRM list. And for those of you who aren't familiar maybe with the terminology CRM, it just stands for Customer Relationship Management System. It's like Keep, Infusionsoft, Constant Contact. It's basically your database where you keep and house the contact information of people who want to be connected to you. They want to hear what you're doing. They want to know what you're selling. They want to be inspired and educated from you and by you on a consistent basis. So you don't have to have a list of 10,000 people. So how can you do this? How can you start marketing without overcomplicating? Number one, through social media posting. Hello. But put yourself on a schedule. Like it's not, oh, I posted like, oh, well, when the last time? You'd be like, I'm marketing. I've been marketing and nothing's been happening. Now I ask the client, well, when was the last time you marketed? How often are you marketing? Oh, last month I put a post up, and the month before that I put a post, and I mean nothing. Crickets. I haven't gotten any customers. I ain't getting any leads. Really? From one post in 1 month? Come on. Imagine if you were dating somebody. And in the dating process, you're trying to get to know the person, know them, like them, trust them. Imagine if they only showed up once a month and said, hey, and then I'm out of here. And now they deuces, they gone. And then they show up a month later, talking about, hey, like there is no trust factor. There's no like factor either, because you're playing games. That's how you make your clients feel and your prospects feel, that you're playing games when you pop in and pop out of their lives like that. No, be consistent and put yourself on a schedule. I'm going to post 3 times a week, but not just that, take it a step further. I'm going to post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern time, or whatever time frame you're on. Like, be specific. We know about that in terms of SMART goals. When we're setting SMART goals, they have to be time bound, right? And they need to be specific. Not, oh, I'm going to lose 30 pounds next year. No, by June 1st, 2026, I will have released an additional 30 pounds. Well, treat your goals, your business goals, and your speaker goals the same way. So what are you going to post? Well, how about posting a tip from the blueprint you just created? A tip once a day for 3 days a week. Or how about posting a snippet of your story about your journey? Or how about posting a testimonial or some type of proof, or a before and after of someone that you've helped before to achieve the outcome that you're saying that you can achieve, help people to achieve. And then what you do is, inside the post, you can list something as simple as, you give the post and you can say, DM me blueprint if you want the full blueprint. Or you could say, list blueprint under this post, type the word blueprint if you want the full blueprint. So it's like giving people teasers that then lead them to another step, because every step is another touch point. That's why we keep talking about imprint. You're trying to make the imprint go from surface level. Okay, I made an imprint once. Clearly they saw my stuff and they liked it. But now here's the second phase of that imprint. Now they're actually doing something. They're taking action. They didn't just read the post. They actually read the post and then they followed the instructions. They DM'd me the word, or they posted the word so that they could get access to the next level. Your imprint is getting deeper and deeper. The impression of that imprint is getting deeper and deeper, and less surface level on every touch point. So social media posting, and social media posting right now is still free, unless you so choose to invest in boosting a post or spending ad money. Number 2, you can always use direct outreach. So can you make a list of 20 people who are already in your network who would benefit, or who can connect you to the audience that you want? Because they have your people maybe. And then you send them a message personally. Hey, hey, Dr. Eric, I just created XYZ blueprint, my 7-step blueprint on how to overcome fear as a public speaker, to help this audience, whoever the audience is that you want to serve, to do this thing. And in my case, I've already put that in the title. I thought of you. Would you like the link? Simple as that. Send that to 20 people that you're already connected to. And they can say yes, or they can say no. And some people will say no. And guess what? I think as entrepreneurs by now, you've learned that you're going to hear no, and it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I used to share this story about my baby boy who just turned 18, y'all. Can't believe my baby is 18. He's in his senior year of high school. And I used to tell this story when he was little, when he was maybe like 3 years old. He used to love chocolate chip cookies. I mean, love chocolate chip cookies. And he would come into the kitchen and he would look up, and he had these beautiful, big, bright eyes. And he would look up at me and say, Mommy, can I have 2 chocolate chip cookies? And I'm like, Jalen, get out of here. You're not getting no chocolate chip cookies. I'm cooking dinner right now. You're gonna ruin your appetite. Go. I'll let you know when dinner's ready. And he would go. And then you know what he would do? Come right back. And he'd come back maybe 5 minutes later, like he had never asked me the first time. Mommy, can I have 2 chocolate chip cookies? Like, Jalen, I just told you no, bruh. I'm cooking dinner right now. Get out of here, skedaddle. I'll let you know when dinner's ready. And lo and behold, this joker will come back a third time. And I'm like, Jalen, Lord have mercy. And you know what I would do? I would go into the cabinet. I would rip open the cookie bag. I would get the dark 2 chocolate chip cookies. Here. And what did Jalen do? He got what he wanted. Why did he get what he wanted? Because he was persistent in asking. Are you willing to be persistent in asking? And I like to add the word pleasantly in front of that. Are you willing to be pleasantly persistent in asking for what you want until you get the yes from the people that you want it from? Number three under market without complicating it. Number 1 is your social media posting. Number 2, direct outreach. Number 3, go live or host a free class. Goes back to the concept of giving people something before you ask for something. So you can teach one step or one tip from your method, your methodology, your formula, your blueprint, your step-by-step process, and simply let people know, hey, if you want my full, again, blueprint roadmap, DM me ready, and I'll send you the link to my class that I'm hosting on Friday. That's going to give you the full blueprint, or that's going to give you the first 2 steps in my blueprint, or whatever it might be. You get to decide. Now, if you're going to give the full blueprint, it's important that 2 ways that you can do it. You can give them the full blueprint, but then you've got to have a deeper dive edition version of the blueprint. Because if you have a 6-step blueprint and you're going to give that all to me, then you don't just want to keep me as a free customer. You don't want to ever keep anybody on a free customer path. You want to elevate them to a paid customer path, because really the free customer path really is just a raving fan or somebody who just wanted your content. But you want to graduate people from the free path to the paid customer path, because they're going to always get more value in the paid customer path than they will on the free. You can give them value, but the deeper dive into that blueprint is going to be a paid option. So what that means is, and again, this is one of the things that we help you to do in GSU and as a part of the Imprint programs, is how do I segment my content so I know what to give free, but then how to take it into a deeper dive that people pay for, and then take that deeper dive, which is kind of like your entry level or their intro to you. How do I take that into a mid-level? How do I take that into a high ticket? Like, how do I have tiers to this thing, just like we gave you tiers to the Imprint program, so that you can always meet people where they are, and you're not boxing everybody into one box, because everybody doesn't want the same thing. Everybody doesn't have the same level of knowledge. Everybody doesn't have the same time commitment available or the same financial investment that they can make. So it's important that you segment your content. Let me give you this last step, part number 4. Why do I keep saying part number 4? Part 4. It's either number 4 or part 4, Cheryl. It ain't both, girl. Which one? Decide. Make a decision. Part 4. Sell simply but consistently. So what are the steps we've gone through so far? We identified our profitable knowledge and decided what we were going to sell based on that, based on our lived experience, our story, something that we know. Number 2, we created one signature piece of content. It might be the workshop, it might be the mini course, it might be the roadmap blueprint. Number 3, we market without overcomplicating it. So I don't have to spend millions in ads. I don't have to do the funnels. I don't have to have 10,000 people on my CRM list. I can just do social media posts. I can do direct outreach, or I can go live, or I can host a class, free class. And number 4, sell simply but consistently. So if you want to generate real income, this is just the truth. You got to treat your offer, that one signature offer that you just created, you got to treat that offer like a store that's open every day. Like, I know that 7-Eleven is open every day, 24/7. I can go get it anytime I want. I know that most of the Asian spots around my neighborhood, they're open either most of the times, if not all night, much longer than most other places. And so because of that, they end up getting more of my money. So the question is, are you marketing and selling like it's a store and that your sign is turned to, yes, we are open? Or is your sign turned to, oh, we closed? And oh, we closed just means go somewhere else and do business with somebody else. That's all it means. You might as well just put that up. Oh no, we don't want your money. Go and spend that somewhere else. So I want to give you like some math of why I say sell like a store that's always open. Let's say you do everything that I just shared with you. And you take that one, and this is a starting point, because it is better to start somewhere and make some money than to make no money and consistently make no money. If you create that one signature piece of content, a little miniature course, which is only going to be 50 minutes of your time, or a blueprint roadmap that you get designed beautifully, and now it's in this beautiful digital blueprint guide, whatever the thing is, or a workshop, whatever you decide. If you take that one signature piece of content and price it at $97, so we start in very basic. And let me make this clear. I think this is important for me to say this before I move on. For a long time, I was confused about having a $97 product or a 47 or a 67 or 127 or whatever it is. Because I thought that I had invested so much money into learning how to master speaking, and I kept getting on bigger stages and bigger stages. And before I knew it, I went from speaking in people's living room to 5 girlfriends that they had there to I'm speaking at the school. Now from speaking at the school to I'm speaking at these other places. And then that catapulted me into getting hired and paid good money to speak for NASA, to speak for Prudential, to speak for Capital One. Verizon hired me 6 times to be their keynote speaker, to come in and speak to the women in their organization. All these different places, law firms all over the country. And I thought, because nobody ever clarified for me, that because I had advanced like that, I had invested all this money and it benefited me because I did the work and I had advanced to a certain level in my speaking business, that I could no longer sell something that was $97. I thought that would diminish the value of my brand. But here's what I learned. In one of my big investments, I went to this training class. And when I got to the training class, they gave us this little workbook. And this is what a highly reputable person who I was in their training. And I get the workbook and I'm flipping through the workbook. And I already know, I knew what their prices was because shucks, I paid it. It was big numbers. And I started flipping through the workbook, y'all. And I was like, wait a minute. Hold on. I sound like Kevin Hart. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's how I felt. I opened the book and I saw stuff and it was like, wait a minute, $97? What the ham sandwich? I flipped to the next. I was like, what? And I'm seeing these low price, low tier, 147, 97. I was like, okay, I'm so confused. And then the light bulb went on. And I realized that I did not have to do either or. I could do both and. Why didn't somebody just tell me that? Why didn't somebody tell me, and all that money I spent, that I could do both and? That I didn't have to choose to only do high ticket or low ticket. I could do high ticket and I could do low ticket. And the high ticket would produce certain things, and it would give people closer access to me, and it would be something immersive that they would experience. And the low ticket would be something pre-recorded, or it would be something that was a digital workbook, or it would be something that I didn't have to come and fulfill because I've already created it on the back end and I'm just reselling it over and over and over again. And it's just like passive income. Give me 1 minute. Y'all, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that nobody that I coached would have ever told me that. I freed myself that day because I realized that you got to meet customers where they are. Not everybody is going to be able to jump into the mid-tier, the high ticket, the big retreat, whatever it is that you're doing. Some people are starting way, way, way back at the beginning because they're at maybe the start of their journey, or maybe they're not financially able to do it, or maybe they can't commit to going and participating in the things that are in the high ticket, whatever it might be. They have their reason and they need the 97 just to get started. Did I tell y'all the story about when I think I said this, told you this yesterday, that when I first heard Lisa Nichols speak in person, I was at the Power Networking Conference in 2010. And she used to open up her room, her suite. She would have a big suite, and anybody could come up to the room, to the suite. And so a bunch of us came up there, and we're just sitting at her feet, like just gleaning and getting knowledge. And, and she's asking, does anybody have questions? And I, at the time, I realized I wanted to be a speaker. And so I'm like, oh my God, okay, I got to ask something. I can't be in this room. I don't want to be a dumb question. I want to be a smart question that I can actually is going to help me. So I don't remember what the question was that I asked, but I asked the question and she gave me a great response to it, great feedback. And then she said, what I recommend for you is, and that's the language I want y'all to put in y'all notes real quick before I continue with the story. What I recommend for you is, because you should always be able to have a recommendation for a prospect who wants to become a customer. You should not be fumbling and bumbling and trying to figure out, I don't know what we got. Let me get back to you. Let me let you know. No, you should be able to say, based on if you're having a discovery session, someone expressed interest. Well, based on our conversation and what I heard you saying about the results that you want to achieve, I would recommend that you go into our Imprint Amplified program. Now, let me give you some more details about this program, and then I'll share with you what the investment is, and you can let me know if that's in alignment, if that feels in alignment with what you're looking for right now, including the time commitment and including the financial commitment. And then I go into it, okay? Those are just like, I'm giving y'all some of the good juice because y'all came for the last session. Everybody else ain't getting this. So again, I got the $97 product, right? If I sell 3 of those products a day, now that might seem like a lot, but I'm not telling you to sell 30 a day. You just have to get into a rhythm where you are consistently and constantly letting people know that you're selling something. And let me say this, stop being afraid that people are going to block you, stop following you or unsubscribe from your list. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Because what we're going to do over here is we're going to sell some stuff because I didn't start a hobby. I didn't start a charity. I started a business. That meant it's a for-profit business. Did you need to see my paperwork? It's a for-profit business. That means I'm in it for profit. Now, I do some charitable stuff, but that ain't got nothing to do with this. And so you want to consistently be in the habit of sharing and telling people what it is that you're offering them that can help them solve a pain or get a solution to something that they're looking for that you already have the solution to. So you sell 3 a day at $97, which would be $291 a day. Just starting at the base. $97 product, I sell 3 a day, $291 a day. I multiply that $291 a day times, let's just say 30 days are in the month. I know some days have more, some days have less, but let's just take 30 days as the standard. I multiply that $291 a day times 30 days, y'all, that's $8,730 for the month. I multiply that $8,730 for the month times 12, that's $104,000, $104,760 to be exact for the year. Tap, tap, is this on? Hello? From one offer. And none of you are only going to have one offer. And none of you are only going to have a $97 offer. So you pick your starting price. Is it going to be 47? Is it going to be 27? Is it going to be 97? Is it going to be 127, 147? 100? You get to decide. Nobody gets to tell you that. You get to pick whatever your starting price is. And then you got to go in and you got to do the work. It means you got to create the payment link. Are you going to use PayPal link? Are you going to use Stripe? What are you going to use? Are you going to use a merchant account? Like I happen to have a merchant account through Infusionsoft, which is now Keep. And that's my CRM. So my merchant account is through my CRM. Or you could use Square or some other processing system. But you got to have a link so that you can connect it to. Let me say this, even if you don't have a full-blown website, you can pay someone to develop a landing page for you. A landing page it's not all long and drawn out and don't have a whole bunch of tabs. It is specifically for you to be able to sell that signature product or that signature content. And the link is there. It tells them what they're getting, what's included, how much it costs, and the link to buy. You start where you are. And you share that offer every day, either through a post, either through a story, either through a live, Facebook Live or IG Live, or through DM outreach or whatever you choose. But you literally share that offer constantly, consistently. And then here's the most important part, then track what's working. You got to pay attention to the analytics and the results, the quantifiable data that we talked about. So that means looking at it. Okay, 2 weeks in, where am I? Have I sold any? Have I sold my 3 per day? Okay. If I have, where are those people coming from? How are they finding me? How are they finding the link? Was it because I connected with my list of 20 people and they sent it out to their people? Was it through this method? Was it through an ad that I ran? Was it through a social media post? Where's the traction coming from? Because whatever the traction is coming from, you want to do what we call rinse and repeat. I want to rinse and repeat that thing because I want to keep getting those results. That makes sense. Is that good, guys? Is that serving you well as at least a starting point of being able to start generating some money? If that serves you well, if that's juicy, type juicy in the chat, because I'm about to start wrapping up after I give you these money affirmations. But I just need to know that you are happy that you showed up for this session, baby, because all the folks that didn't, they missed the money conversation. It's about starting where you are. It's about progress, not perfection. You got this. There's some stuff that you already know that you can already be making money from. And then we just continue to elevate that into other offerings that go beyond that beginner phase, if you will. Beginner phase as it relates to the beginner phase for the customer, right? That might be their introduction to who you are. Okay. Oh, I am way past. I'm so sorry, Carol. I didn't realize that it was that late and I was supposed to have you come on at 7:45. So let me pause. Let me bring in these my 2 ladies here, Adabola, if she's here, and Carol Ross Burnett, just to briefly share their experience in working with Dr. Cheryl. Again, because we're trying to give you, those of you who might be hanging on the fence, we're just trying to give you social proof, case studies, people's real stories and real experiences so that you can make your decision. And then right after this, I will give you the affirmations and then we'll close out. So Carol is here. Did I lose Adabola? I may have, because I did not realize that I had on my chart. I literally just looked at it. There she is. Thank you, my sisters.
I'm here. I'm just looking for my background. So forgive me.
It's okay. It's okay. I appreciate you both for being here and sticking around. I had no idea. I told you I'd be talking about some 60 minutes. I can't talk, girl. Yes, you can. Hey, ladies. So both of you had some training with me. You've been through different programs. Carol did Stage Ready, and Adabola has been through GSU and graduated. So I'm going to ask you what I asked all the other ladies and alumni and folks who have worked with me, the same, maybe 2 or 3 of the same questions, and we'll keep it concise. And the first question is, what was your biggest struggle or limitation? Was it related to your voice or your stage presence or your story or growing your business, whatever it might have been? And when you started working with me, and what is different about you now?
Well, I can start.
Hey, Carol.
Hi, Dr. Cheryl.
Dr. Carol.
Thank you. Dr. Cheryl, I saw you at George Fraser conference. You did a little mini workshop there, and I was transitioning from my professional career to what I want to do more, which is speaking, writing, etc. And I was having a struggle combining my expert professional self with my creative, want to be free from all that self. And what I saw before me was you, this actualized, fully expressive, professional expert. And I was like, there's my person. She's my person. I've been with professional coaches before, and there just wasn't the connection. But for me, with you, there was a connection. And you helped me identify, out of many thoughts and ideas, my professional, my signature speech and my focus. My focus was that people say no to possibility all the time. And all my life, I've been helping people say yes to possibility. And I never would have put it that way if it had not been for the work that I've done with you. The other thing I discovered is that I was saying no to my own possibility. And so
How
I
about
could talk
that?
more. I could talk more about that, but in you, I got the information, I got the insight, I got the infectious energy that you are. And I was delighted and am delighted to be associated with you in that way. And I thank you so much for it.
Oh, absolutely. I love hearing that. I did not know that PNC was where you first connected with me. I didn't even realize that. Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
Atabola, what
Yes.
was your biggest struggle or limitation and what's different now?
Yes. So for me, I wrote a book 3 years ago during COVID. And, as we all do, we have this beautiful book on the shelf of Amazon, and, it's looking pretty there. And I told myself, how do I take the message in my book and how do I touch more lives with that
Mm,
message?
mm,
So in that search, I started following you. I found you online and I started following you. And I found some other people that I'm connected to that were connected to you. So I
mm.
joined your online community, and then I came to that event last year, March, Women Will Prosper. I think
Women
that was
who
the first time I
prosper.
was in the
Yeah.
same room with you, and it was amazing, energetic, and I knew I had to stay close to you. And then I came to this conference last year, November. And I got to tell you, I didn't come there to sign up for GSU. I just came to be a part of the conference.
Y'all notice a
And,
running theme to
you
people. They
were,
be like, I didn't come up to sign up for nothing. Yes, that's
I
like a
know.
running theme. Yes.
And you made the offer, and I went home, and like everybody else, I get my inspiration in the shower, and I was getting ready for the next day to come in, and the spirit said to me, walk by faith, not by sight, because I was
Mm,
trying to figure out how I was going to pay for it,
yeah.
right? And I came in that day, and I paid for it. You made it work for me with the plans,
Yeah.
and it's been an amazing ride for me. Your program has given me the confidence to be bolder, to be able to, go on stage and find more stages to give my message. And
Yeah.
most importantly, you gave me the framework to put my message in so that I can present it more boldly and have my 5 pillars and
Yes.
really and everything you presented today. I was just saying, Dr. Shar is always over delivering. It was juicy. I kept writing and writing, and I was like, this is the next step for me, right? Putting that into some kind of online module so that when I do go on stage, I can have something to offer. So thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. And you know why I'm able to give that freely? Like just give the framework even today, the formula, because I keep investing in me, which means I keep learning. So
Mm.
now I got plenty of free stuff to give y'all. Cause baby, I'm on to this next thing. I done learned all this new stuff. I'm like, okay, I got to get them up. Come on, catch them up so that I can give them the new stuff. But I can't give you the new stuff if I ain't give you the old stuff yet, right? And if I stop learning and I stop growing, I have no more value to add to the clients that I'm called to serve. So thank you for that. All right. So any tangible results? I don't know if you already shared that and kind of incorporated that, but anything that you want to share other than what you've already shared about any tangible results or even internal breakthroughs, because I think that's important, is sometimes it's a tangible result, sometimes it's an internal breakthrough, and they both matter in growth.
Well, yes, absolutely. The internal breakthroughs have been happening for me because I came to this possibility of being a speaker and all of that from a professional career from over 30 years. So I've been a speaker. I've
Mm-hmm.
trained and I've presented to hundreds, literally hundreds. I'm going to have to quantify. I have to go back years and years to quantify how many workshops, how many retreats,
Yep.
how many events, all of that stuff that I've done. And what I've discovered was that I need to take that expertise and put it in a format and a framework that I can then offer to others who have been asking me, there's something about you. What is it about you that is something that they want that
Yep.
I know what it is? I know how to incorporate now my faith into my speaking in such a way. And I've learned that from you, that it doesn't turn people off or,
Yeah.
they don't think it's taboo. I've seen you do that time and time again, and I've been trying to put that, incorporate that. So I've really had that breakthrough as well. And what I'm moving toward is expanding a women's group that I started 5 years ago with some prominent women, names you would know. And it took me 2 years to do that. But now we've been going
Mm.
5 years. Now they're pushing me to expand. Other women need this. They need this community. And so I'm working right now on the structure for that to make those offerings in the new year. So I'm really excited about moving toward that and getting that done in the new year.
And I love that you have that because it's November 8th. Too many people wait until January 1st to start creating the plan. Baby, no, January 1st, we already rolling, we moving. And GSU, we don't stop. We don't, everybody who signs up, you're going to see that we're going to be doing some sessions. We're going to do a welcome session in November, likely, and we're going to do a year-end session in December. And that's not even included in the package, but we're going to throw that in because we don't want you waiting for January to start. Now we're officially going to start the training in January, but your connection with us and your learning is going to start before then. We don't wait till January 1 to start. Yeah. Thank you
That's
for
right. And
sharing.
I came to SpeakerCon in
Yeah.
2023, and that's what got me really started with you. And I've learned to say things succinctly. Your
Yes.
passion defines your purpose,
Yes.
and
I love
your
it.
purpose requires a plan. And your
I,
plan requires some action.
come
So
on.
those sound bites that you're talking about, you've really got me going with that. And I love that about you.
And we love the way you just passionately shared that. I saw Andrew like, yes, honey. Yes. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Adipola?
Yeah, so since GSU, I've actually been on 5 stages live.
Woo, come
This was
on.
something I never imagined. So for me, it was really the mindset that you instilled in us and knowing that this too can be another stream of income for me, because I'm a full-time scientist, as you know.
Yes. Yes.
And but to know that this can be another stream of income, I think that mindset was something you solidified for us at GSU, just like you did tonight with all the different, nuggets that you just shared. And so in April, I had my own life event, and I used the framework to give my keynotes. That was the first time I actually delivered my keynote in a live setting. And then I've done like 4 other since then, whether it's 10 minutes or 30 minutes or 40 minutes.
Yep.
So I've done it in the different formats, what you can add and what you can take away. So I really appreciate, continuing to practice my keynote. And let's see. I think I told you by text when we were chatting that I actually auditioned for TEDx last
You
weekend.
did tell me.
I
Yes.
did. Yes, I did. So I'm excited about that journey. I'm excited about what that has in stock for me next year. That's going to be unfolding next year. And I'm also going to be doing an anthology.
Wait, you're going to be spearheading an anthology?
I'm going to be doing one. I'm going to be doing an anthology
It's going to
next
be
year.
your own anthology?
My own anthology, yes.
Come
And I'm
on,
speaking it
what they do
live. I'm
now?
speaking it to live right now. I'm speaking it to live right now. To that this is something, like everything, every next level comes with a fear. And part of what you teach us is to, feel the fear, but do it anyways. And
Yeah.
so I'm going to step into that. And I hopefully by this time next year, I'll give you a success story about that.
Absolutely. Ain't no hopefully. I'll be looking for the success story, girl. You done already said it out loud. We didn't talk about
Yeah.
that with the Leah. Leah said it earlier, girl, say it out loud, baby. You done said it out loud for all these people here. So we be looking for the update and looking for the book so we can buy the book and support, especially when you do your bestseller campaign. All right, I'm gonna skip to
Thank
this
you.
final question, which is if there is somebody here and they've been listening and they've been here with us for 4 days and they're on the fence, but their spirit is pulling them. They really want to do it, but there is some fear, which it's supposed to be. Guys, please write this in your note. If it don't scare you, it can't grow you. If it don't scare you, it can't grow you because it just means you're doing what's familiar and what's comfortable. So of course it's not going to grow you. It's just going to keep you stuck and stagnant where you are. So if there is someone who is considering it, they're on the fence a little bit, they're a little nervous, they're scared, I'm not sure, I don't know this woman. I ain't come here to buy nothing like so many GSU people. What would you say to them? This will be your closing 60 seconds.
Okay, I forgot to mention, Dr. Cheryl, that I've worked in the legal profession, and that was another connection
Yes.
for me with you. And so I
Yep.
know what it means to work in a profession that's male dominated, for one thing, and where they have a certain view of you if you are not a lawyer.
Yep.
So I had a little bit of, I don't know if I'm good enough to stand before this. So I think what I would say to people is, it's time. It's
Mm.
time to stop wasting time. It's
Ooh,
really
now that's a
time.
sound bite right there. Ooh.
It's really time to step out of your shell and speak up, even though you're scared. And so
Mm.
when I did my dissertation, it was on silence. And one of the things I learned about silence is what causes you to be silent is either fear that it'll come back to do something damaging to you, or for its futility. Nobody's going to do anything about it anyway. And I say it's time to speak out and speak up. And one of the things that you're teaching me to do, and I'm going back to the legal profession, and say, here I am. I've been
Mhm.
working on my social media to get more followers, and that's really happening and evolving. They know my face, they know my voice, and I really attribute a lot of that success to you. So I would say to people, it is time to step out of your shell, to speak up and speak out and get with Dr. Cheryl, because I have to tell you this also, Dr. Cheryl, I have to sort of stay with you now because I can't not have your voice in my ear. So let me just warn you, come to Dr. Cheryl and you're gonna want to be with Dr. Cheryl forevermore. So you so
I
thank you
love
for all
that.
you've done.
I love that. Look, I can't. I got to tell y'all this to piggyback on that because is Dr. Bertha here? Dr. Bertha Winston came to me last night at the thing. It's like, okay, look, I got to stay in a what way I sign up, what I sign up. I need to do. I got to stay connected. And then I got a message from another GSU member just today, their voice message saying, okay, what's next for us? What's next for the rest of us? I was like, all right, we coming. I'm coming. We're gonna craft something specifically for the people who've already gone through the core training. So I love that. I love that you want to stay connected. That's beautiful. And thank you for sharing your heart and being so vulnerable in that. I appreciate that so much, Carol. And to
Yes.
close, Adavola.
Yes, I mean,
Oh, you went on mute. You're on mute now.
unmute. Can you hear
Sometimes,
me?
sometimes Zoom does that. Yes, we can hear you
Can,
now.
can you hear me? It did mute me.
Yep.
Dr. Cheryl is the real deal, you all. As you can see tonight, she always over delivers. She over delivers every single time. Now, you remember every single Monday we got on that call. It was supposed to be a 2-hour call, and we were on there till 10:30. She just kept pouring into us, and she does that all the time. She does not hold back. This investment is worth it. Bet on yourself because you are worth it. It's going to be worth it. And
Mhm.
so I just say, if you're on the fence, if you're not sure, take the leap of faith. Like I told you that time, that story said, walk by faith, not by sight. Even if you don't know how you're going to pay
Mhm.
for it, Dr. Cheryl will work with you.
Yep.
So bet on yourself. It's going to be worth it. And the community, oh my God, let me not forget the community. That is honestly the best part of it. Dr. Cheryl is the real deal, and she's amazing. But the community, as you saw last night, is
Yeah.
just amazing. Having a community of individuals with the same passion, doing the same thing, following the same dream that you can support and grow each other. When I had
Mhm.
my event in April, we had only been knowing each other for maybe 2-3 months at the time. And I had like
Mhm.
5 GSU members there. And
Yeah.
that just speaks volume. And
Yeah.
another GSU member that's been, they say my spotter is Dr. Karen. I met Dr. Karen at your
Yep.
event
Yep.
in last year, and I've been to 2 of our conferences supporting her.
Yeah.
And and one of the live speaking I talked about was on her stage in October. So
I
this
love it.
community is priceless.
I love that. And even Michelle Hawkins and Patti Hall, they went down, and Dr. Karen's event was in Virginia Beach. And I know that they went down. There was a couple other faces that I saw. I think Olympia Boardley was there. So we definitely work very diligently to be a tight-knit community that feels like family, and we really do support each other. So I love that. Thank you, ladies, so much for sharing that. Now, I don't know if they're saying that my content is that good or I just talk too much because we do be having 3 or 4 hour sessions.
You were only supposed to do maybe 1 hour with us, and we always went 2.
I
stage
know.
ready.
I
And
know always. And you know,
always.
yes, go ahead,
I
please.
just always also want to say that I'm in Los Angeles. And so I
Yeah.
don't want people to feel hampered by the geography because
Yeah.
I will make my way wherever I need to be because of you and because of what you poured into me. So
Oh.
I just wanted to say that.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I love that you brought that up because sometimes people do count themselves out because of geography. And another person, I don't know if she's able to come on camera or not, and if not, that's fine, is Grace Quarshie. I would love for her to come on if we could add her to if she's willing to speak for a couple seconds or so. I don't know if they're able to bring her to the front because I'm gonna let
Oh,
her. Hey, Grace, there she is. I'm gonna let Grace tell you where she is
oh,
located because she was like the number one student. She never missed a class in her cohort of GSU. Tell them where you're located at and tell us what time it is there right now.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, GSU family. So it's 1:47 a.m. and I'm here smiling. I just can't put my cheeks together because of all the testimonies coming in and all that. It's so amazing. Yesterday, Dr. Cheryl, I was just casting out the spirits of jealousy because when you
Mm.
were mentioning the packages, the first packages, I was asking myself that I signed up too early. Maybe I should have waited at this time. That's really the right time to sign up
They just
because
keep getting juicier and juicier. That's all. They just keep
yeah,
getting juicier and
yeah,
juicier.
it's true. It's true. It's there's been so many big difference, and I'm so excited to be part of the GSU family, whether in person or online, whatever you learn from GSU, it doesn't go away. It's like, I don't know how to say, it's cemented in your heart and you can
Mhm.
use it anywhere and everywhere in the world, whether in ministry, anywhere you can use this.
Mhm.
One of the my when I joined GSC, one of my issue was clarity. I was all over the place. Didn't know who I was serving. And you go online, you see someone doing something else, you think you can also do it. So I was just all over the place. And I thank God that during the session, every time we meet, she will ask you, who do you serve?
Yeah.
What are you giving them? Who are your audience? So that thing really helped me a lot. And when I got that clarity for myself, that was it. And so I started building on it. And by God's grace, I did my first anthology and wrote that volume 2 as well. I mean, I've wrote that like two other anthology. And one of the things we're told to do at GSC was to write a tea book, you know, um,
Yes.
tea book and our tea book. So the clarity I got from GSU, what are you doing and who are you serving? Like what Dr. Cheryl was saying, your audience are the previous version of you. Never let that go. It's
Mm.
always on my mind. So by the grace of God, I wrote my tip book I launched it in 2023. And last year I was in the US in person, and guess what? I just did a mini introduction of the book there. Dr. Emma was there to support me as well
Oh.
as a community and all that. And when it comes to payment terms, I'm from Africa. Changing CD to dollar is so huge. And Dr. Cheryl has been very, 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 very generous with me. I'm not going to hide it. This is personal, opening up a brain. And I know this community, we open up, we are authentic as speakers.
Mhm.
And she has been very, very generous with me in terms of my payment. And I know that I also still have a long way to go, but the fire that I caught, I don't think it can leave me. It's
Mm.
always producing something new in me and generating so many things. I've been recognized in Ghana as part of the 100 and women in entrepreneurship. I've received award in Dubai in 2020. So many good things have happened to me. And by the grace of God, I'm building on it bit by bit. My tea book, it wasn't easy, but we were able to write a tea book. If some of my first team were here, they could remember we wrote a tea book, and this book is everything. And I've had so many testimonials from it. So Dr. Cheryl, I just want to say I'm not doing anything. I wish I could do more. I can stay here till 5 a.m. and I will not feel sleepy, because the passion, the drive, and the fire and your energy is so, so contagious. God bless your good heart. And thank you so much for everything you've done for us. And to let you know that, look, the seed that you sowed in me like 2 years or 3 years ago, this seed is building in Africa. Recently, I just launched a small girls club in West Africa, Togo, where my husband and I have a ministry. And I'm using this book to help these
Mm.
young ladies in Africa. So
Oh,
your seed, as you said, when you sow the seed, you might not reap it where you sow it, but you it's everywhere, it's everywhere. So your seed is being germinated in Africa whilst you are, in America. That's what I just want you to know. Thank you so much. And the GSU community is so strong. Recently, I was just pulled into a community like an Africa community. So there's a community and community in GSU. Just find your tribe, and they are always ready to support you to become who you are and to do so. I am a living testimony. I am a living testimony. God bless you all. Thank you so much.
oh,
Thank
thank you
you.
for sharing. Again, it is I'm assuming 1:52 a.m. now.
Yes,
And every
yes.
session that we that we did, it was always like 2 or 3 a.m. And Grace was always the first person on the call, and she always stayed until the call ended. Yes, I said it was going to be an hour and a half, and it ended up being 4 hours, and she stayed for the 4 hours, fully immersed, fully engaged, fully committed. How bad do you really want it? I am so proud of you. Keep doing the work that you're doing. I love that you and your husband are doing the ministry with the young girls, and that you did the tip book, and oh, it just fills my heart. Thank you for jumping on. Again, none of this was scripted with anybody, and I definitely didn't plan on. I didn't ask for Grace to step up, but I just thought when Dr. Carol mentioned that beautiful part about it doesn't matter geographical, like that's what technology allows us to do now. That you can really be anywhere in the world, but how bad do you want it? Thank you so much, ladies. I appreciate all of you so much. It has been a privilege to work with you, to support you, and y'all, no, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't done. We ain't done. This is just the beginning. So I look forward to finding ways to continue our experience together. Thank you all for being with us. We are wrapping up now. I want to give you these final money affirmations because you've heard a lot about passion. You've heard a lot about purpose throughout the 4 days that we've been together. You've heard a lot about vision and intention and all the things. But we didn't want to leave out the element of money because if you do well in the world, you deserve to do well in your bank account as well. It is not doing well and prospering and creating profits and wealth is not only reserved for the sharks in the water. Just because you got sharks in the water who are doing it the wrong way doesn't mean you can't do it the right way and still prosper. So I want you to hear these. And after I read them out, you can let me know in the chat. I'll ask you, do you want me to send you the PDF? And if so, I'm not going to do that tonight, but I'll do it tomorrow. I'll make Oh, and I don't want to try to pretend that I'm going to still be up tonight because I'm going to be snoring. And I get to sleep in a little bit late tomorrow before we get ready for Les Brown. How many of you are going to be here for Les tomorrow? We're going to send you the link. We're going to send you a separate link. Tell me in the chat. Because I can only see like a four of y'all at the top of my bar. So we start at 5. He comes on at 6. That's the schedule. He might come on a little bit earlier than that. And we will not be longer than 7. So we will not be more than 2 hours tomorrow. Awesome. We got some folks who are saying that. And we'll make sure we send a reminder and we send the link. All right, here we go with the 20 money. The 20 money affirmations. Number 1, my voice is valuable. And every time I speak with purpose, I attract prosperity. Number 2, I am divinely compensated for the impact my story creates in the world. I am divinely compensated for the impact my story creates in the world. Number 3, my words carry weight and my wisdom carries wealth. My words carry weight and my wisdom carries wealth. Number 4, I boldly speak, teach, and serve, and abundance flows to me with ease. I boldly speak and teach and serve, and abundance flows to me with ease. Number 5, and you don't have to worry about trying to write these down unless you're that person like I do like to write as well. But if you give me the yes after the end, don't tell me yet, then I'll send it to you tomorrow morning. Number 5, I no longer whisper my worth. Whew, that one gives me goosebumps. I no longer whisper my worth. I declare it with confidence and conviction. I no longer whisper my worth. I declare it with confidence and conviction. Number 6, I am richly rewarded for showing up in my purpose. I am richly rewarded for showing up in my purpose. Number 7, my story is not just powerful, it is profitable, purposeful, and prophetic. My story is not just powerful, it is profitable, purposeful, and prophetic. Number 8, every time I use my voice to elevate others, my influence and my income expand. Woo, come on. Somebody gonna be reading these for the next 30 days. Every time I use my voice to elevate others, my influence and my income expand. Number 9, I release, this is deep. This one is good. I release the fear of being seen and I receive the freedom of being paid to serve. Ooh, 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 ooh. I think I skipped 8. I'm going to come back to 8. I just read number 9. I'll read number 9 again, then I'll go back to 8. Did I give you guys 8? Anybody know? Okay, I'll read it again anyway. Number 9, I release the fear of being seen and I receive the freedom of being paid to serve. I'm going to give you 8 again because I can't remember if I read it or not because clearly I'm tired. Okay. Number 8 was every time I use my voice to elevate others, my influence and my income expand. I did read that one. All right. Number 10, my voice opens doors, my story builds bridges, and my impact creates overflow. My voice opens doors, my story builds bridges, and my impact creates overflow. Number 11, I am not afraid to be both impactful and wealthy. I am worthy of both. I am not afraid to be both impactful and worthy. And wealthy. I am worthy of both. Number 12, I teach what I know and the world generously rewards my wisdom. I teach what I know and the world generously rewards my wisdom. 13, the more I serve through speaking, the more I magnetize money, meaning, and miracles. Talk about that magnet that Leah talked about earlier today, right? That was so beautiful. I'll read that one again. The more I serve through speaking, the more I magnetize money, meaning, and miracles. Number 14, my voice is not charity, it is currency. I'm going to walk off the stage for that one. Come on. They weren't ready for that one right there. I'm going to read that one again. My voice is not charity, it is currency. Do you believe that? Now, that's the one you want to write down right there. My voice is not charity, it is currency. Now, in parentheses, you can put, I choose when it becomes charity. But nobody else gets to dictate that for you. You get to decide when you're going to be charitable. But my voice is not charity, it is currency. Number 15, I confidently charge for the transformation I deliver, not just the time I give. I confidently charge for the transformation I deliver, not just the time I give. 16, and we only have 20, so we're almost done. The more I honor my story, the more abundance honors me. The more I honor my story, the more abundance honors me. 17, I am worthy of being seen, heard, and highly paid. Yes, you are. I am worthy of being seen, heard, and highly paid. Number 18, my purpose and prosperity are not in competition. They are in collaboration. My purpose and prosperity are not in competition, they are in collaboration. 19, I attract clients, stages, and opportunities that align with my impact and income goals. I attract clients, stages, and opportunities that align with my impact and income goals. And last but certainly not least, number 20, every time I share my truth, I elevate others and expand my wealth. Every time I share my truth, I elevate others and I expand my wealth. So now you can tell me yes or no. I love this community. I love y'all. Like, I ain't even asked the question yet. All right, y'all got it. You got it. I'm going to send this out tomorrow. I already have it here. So it's already prepared for you because I figured they were going to say yes. I kind of assumed. So I'll have it, but I just know when I get off of here, it's been a long 4 days of serving. And so I want to give myself permission to rest. One of the V's on our chart, the 8-part imprint chart, is vitality. And a part of vitality and maintaining vitality is to honor your body and what it's telling you. And when it's telling you to sit down somewhere, go sit down somewhere for a couple minutes at least. And so my body is definitely telling me, girl, get into bed after this. Take this makeup off and get into bed. Take these lashes. Y'all know that's like the first thing we take off. Sorry, Dr. E. The lashes and the bra, baby. That's the first 2 things that's coming off. The lashes and the bra. Sorry, y'all had to hear that. And we're going to rest our body and relax and just soak in, if you will, what God has allowed us to produce for these past 4 days. I love the work that I am called to do. It is my life's work. It is not just some side hustle, side gig, and it's not a job because I don't feel like it's a job ever. Now, is there work involved? Yes. But is there also a lot of passion and heart and love and energy and light, Leah? Yes. And so I pray for continued blessings over all of you, all of your businesses, your speaking, you sharing your story. I pray that you will stay connected with this community, or if you're not connected, that you will find a way to get connected and that you will commit to saying yes to you at some point when you are ready for the invitation that we extend. I'm going to close out with a song and then we will just go ahead and disperse. So give me one moment so I can pull it up. And it has been a blessing. Yeah?
Dr. Cheryl, I'm
Yeah?
sorry. I couldn't be on today because I was interviewed on another platform. I
That's okay.
didn't get the will or if the session was recorded, I'd like to get it, but especially the will.
Yes. Did you get the all the messages, the emails that came from Zoom event? Did you get those? It should say like from
I don't
speaker.
know because I wasn't on the computer till this evening.
No, not today. This was like when you first registered.
Did I get? Yeah, I got some of that. Yes.
It's in there. Just scroll down to the bottom. You'll see a link for that.
Okay.
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 Awesome. Fantastic. I'm glad you were able to make it for a little while, a little time. All right, y'all, hang on one second. I'm trying to come over to this. I'd love to share this. I think I have to put like this up while I'm doing it. Is anything up on that screen or no?
Not yet.
Oh, well, I guess I don't have to have it if it'll let me play it without it. I thought I had to have something up on the screen. All right, let's go and we're gonna do this in celebration of, well, let me see if I want to show, let me listen to this one. Okay. This is called Show Up. Listen to the words. Show up. No more waiting on the sidelines. No more hiding from the light. This is your time, this is your moment. Step on in and shine so bright. Every dream you've been holding back. Every chance you thought you lacked, it's all here, it's yours to claim. No excuses, no more shame. Take a breath and stand up tall. It's stronger than you've known at all. The power's here inside your hands. Take the lead and make you stand. It's not about being perfect. It's about being brave.
Every single step you're taking builds the life you show. You've been ready all along. Says you're in. Moments falling, and the world feels too heavy, and the nights get cold and long. Remember, you're already ready to rise, to fight, to belong. Every step, listen, every scar, something to fight. You're the one who keeps on pressing. You're the spark that lights the night. It's not about being perfect. It's about being brave. Every single step you're taking builds the life you crave. You've been ready all. Everybody says you're in. Sorry. Feeling too. Everyone's calling. Even when the world doubts you, even when it feels too much, remember all you walked through and how you've never lost your touch. Step into the fire and let the doubt burn away. Rise with your desire, since you're down. You've been ready all along. Every heartbeat says you're in. Everyone's falling. Sunrise, a new chance. Take a stance, the future's waiting.
Woo! I don't know if you could hear the words. I don't know if it was, in and out. But let me just say, this is your time to show up. It is your time. Dr. Carol, did you have a question? No. Have an amazing night. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you. I value you. And I cannot wait to work with those of you who have said yes to yourself. If you're still on the fence, but you still want to talk to somebody, you can still do that, especially since we'll be here again tomorrow. That will be the final opportunity, but we encourage you to just go ahead and say yes to you. Join us. You will not regret. You will never regret saying yes to you. I believe that. I live it. I am the model of it. And I want to encourage you to believe in yourself enough that you will show up for yourself. Dr. Eric?
Well, y'all already know we cannot let this go down. Y'all already know me. We got to salute this CEO, this founder, this visionary. I know we've heard testimonies, but we got to unmute, as she would always do with everybody. Unmute, just celebrate Dr. Cheryl. 7 years of this vision, the 7 speaker con, and she shifted and did it virtually. And what a success. And so we're looking for the grand finale. Thank you, Dr. Cheryl. You know my words. Not letting the vision die. Not giving up on the vision that God birthed in you. And look at all the success stories that you heard today.
Yes.
Difficult and you have to be as you say,
Yes.
just getting started.
Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.
All right. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Bye-bye.